Hello to whoever's watching, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for watching. So, I wanted to make a video about a recurring theme that I seem to be working on quite a lot. I have worked on this in myself, but a lot with clients. So, this is about letting go of any kind of content and dropping into, let's call it the void, as a place of emptiness, of contentlessness, of spaciousness, inner spaciousness. This is abhorrent to most people. To truly go there, to truly let go of all emotional, psychological, external, internal content, and simply be in a space of surrendered openness. It's very simple to find out. See if you can sit down and empty your mind, empty your emotional body, your energetic body, and simply be in nothingness, which is actually fullness, because consciousness is still there. Now, why is it so hard for people to go there? What I found with others and myself is that there is a fear of this place. There's a terror of letting go of the mind, of emotions, because the mind and emotions give us a sense of identity. It's a self. We know this place. And going beyond that is the unknown. And we have a fear of the unknown. Why? Because at some point in our childhood, generally, space wasn't held and it wasn't modeled for us to safely go into this place of just being, pure, empty being. When we do go there, we enter a state of presence, full presence, of stillness, of really being there, completely and fully. And most people have trauma around this. I had trauma around this. And there's a constant need that comes from this place of trauma, either to throw up questions, look for directions, try to be productive. And so when we let go of that, that means, oh my God, I'm not going to be productive. I'm not going to have the answers. I have to let all that go. Like deeply go. That I may never have solutions to my life's problems, for example, and really drop beyond that. And that's a scary thing to do. It's really letting go of a lot of our safety and our certainty. There is no safety or certainty when we let that go. Or rather, there is, but we think there isn't. That there is safety and certainty in knowledge, in answers, in solutions, in doing. And so when I'm guiding people there, especially the ones that are really compulsively stuck in that place, even the ones that, and I was one of them, where I'll be seeking the answers compulsively for myself, for my trauma, for my healing, so that I could drop into that place of, oh man, I just don't want to have questions. But please answer me, give me the answer of how I don't need answers, of how I no longer have questions. The paradox of that, the contradiction of that. So there is this fear of, usually that trauma, that fear subconsciously will throw up these resistances, and it'll be, in judgments. It's like, well, why do I need emptiness? What's the point of it? It's pointless. It's useless. Nothing happens in there. Life happens when we do. And, or it's boring, or it's mundane. Or how am I going to get from that place of non-action and non-doing? Of course, the paradox is that's where life happens. When we drop into that place, things can come into us rather than us chasing them. But they come from a deeper place, from intuition, from source, from inspiration, from our hearts, from our guts. So it is in that place where we sit in our openness when we get there. We can allow things to drop in. We can allow our intuition to whisper into our hearts. We can allow our hearts to whisper into our heads. And then we know, perhaps now we feel inspired to do certain actions, to follow certain decisions. But now it's coming from a calling rather than from a compulsive need for something. So this is a very core wound, I would say, that we all have to face at one point or another on our spiritual journey if we're after peace. Because ultimately there is no peace when we're seeking and striving, and there is in that place where we're deeply resting. When I first dropped in there, I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I'm having rest from myself, really, from the mind. So yeah, I mean, if you feel drawn to doing some of this work, if you recognize this pattern in yourself, and you've chased all sorts of answers in healing and spirituality and whatever world that you're part of, and you haven't found it, then you're welcome to reach out, and I'll be glad to work with helping you with this thing. So my contact details are below. Please hit subscribe if you like my content. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, as Jim Carrey says in The Truman Show, wherever you are and having watching this now. Take care, and I'll see you next time.